What's up, guys? It's another episode of the Middle Ground podcast. Wow. So, it's been a while. Thank you, everybody, for watching our videos, following us on our socials. If you have not subscribed, Curves, I think this is an opportunity for us. And by the way, I have Curves on set.
Hi, hello.
Yeah.
Welcome back. It's been a minute.
So, do you want to explain the reason for your absence?
No, I choose not to explain it. It's been spoken about behind the scene. Let's just leave it like that. Just the point is, I am back here, and it's good to be back. And thank you very much for checking up on our videos, watching, liking, subscribing, and also sharing with your friends and families and loved ones, and those you even hate. Yes, that's that word. Anyways, back to you, Wale.
Really?
Yes.
Anyway, look, thanks to everybody that have been supporting one way or another. And please keep supporting. Let's see. So, the Royal Mind TV is over 400 strong. And we are counting on you guys to please help us take it to, higher heights, higher numbers. And we can do this, can't we?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Thank you very much. So, on this episode of the Middle Ground podcast, it's a special. Now,
Drum roll, please.
It's a special, and I'll tell you why it's a special. So, I'm going to do a small background on how we arrived at this episode. We arrived at this episode because of one topic lots of us don't like talking about. Yeah, so when you hear things like security is everybody's business, we now look at it like you are selling cashew. Then, business now, you're selling cashew nuts or you're selling granuts in a bottle or something.
Okay.
But security is actually everybody's business. And as much as it is everybody's business, it's some people's job.
Yes, definitely.
And that's why we're doing a special. We're doing a special because of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Mm-hmm. And this is from us to all Armed Forces members and rank and file and officers and staff and everybody. We are saying thanks for your service. Una they try. Thank you for everything you're doing. So, Sheon.
Yes, please.
So you see the way that it's our business to wake up in the morning as broadcasters. Mm-hmm. You're a broadcaster. I'm a broadcaster. It's just that we do different things.
Yeah, we do different things, but at the end of the day, we're passing out information.
We're passing out information. So as broadcasters, when you wake up in the morning, you have your routine. You just wake up in the morning, pick up your phone. You want to check
social media, what's trending, what's happening, the news stories. Yes. And
you do your research before you go on air. Do you know that there are some people that their job is to wake up in the morning like, Omo, and they go work. And you tell your family, bye-bye. And it's not guaranteed that you can
that
come.
Be back.
Now, so the thing is this. It's not guaranteed actually that anybody is coming back.
Yes, even you who wake up, we journalists, it's not guaranteed that you would go and cover a particular beat and then you come back safe.
Yeah, because
sure.
They always make fun of these things. They say everything is ready to kill you in Nigeria.
And you're ready to die too.
But it's more peculiar to be a soldier, an army, navy,
Air Force, whatever it is.
So,
definitely.
in commemoration of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, we have decided to search out a rare gem in the Nigerian military. And, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce. Let me introduce. AKA, Ejeke introduce.
That should tell you it's serious. Quite serious. So let him introduce. Please do introduce.
Air Commodore Abayomi Balogun.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much for coming, sir.
My pleasure.
In a very short notice.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It shows how patriotic you still are. And he's retired, by the way.
Yes, he is.
And he retired 2004.
2014.
2014.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
December.
Pardon me, please. December 2014.
Yes, tomorrow is my retirement birthday.
Whoa!
That's a good one. That's a good one. So I said party.
Not yet.
Are we invited? Even
Yeah,
if
you.
one?
Yeah, I will invite you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So let me
Okay.
tell you a bit about General Balogun here. General Balogun is one of the few Nigerian Air Force officers that have flown 2,000 hours that have been on air, in the air for 2,000 hours and 2,005 hours. So sorry, please. Sorry, I'm kind of mixing this and messing it up. Please help me here.
2,500 hours.
2,500 hours.
Combat flying.
That's a lot.
2,500 hours of combat flying.
That's a lot.
If you have an Air Force person in your family or as a friend, ask them. They will tell you how big a deal that is. Now, not just that, he's also an author. Show them the book.
Okay, so this book is titled Nigerian Air War in Sierra Leone, from the cockpit of aggressor, 2018, I believe.
08.
Or 08.
Cockpit Aggressor 08.
08. Now, this is the second edition, and this is the book by Air Commodore Abayomi Balogun. So if you'd like to cop the book, this is it.
Yes. So we'll tell you how to get the book. Now, among all his feats, this is the one that attracted us the most. He has an NGO called Green Heroes Foundation. Now, what Green Heroes Foundation do is they cater for the needs of veterans, war veterans, soldiers, and the likes. And so we're going to be in commemoration of all the armed forces of all the Nigerian armed forces. We will be talking about what General Balogun is doing for the armed forces, especially the veterans. So, General Balogun, thanks for coming once again.
It's my pleasure again.
Yeah. So, quickly.
Yeah.
But firstly, thanks for your service.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
When we were talking, somebody said, he's a Yoruba man. I said,
Really? That's somebody's me.
I said, you see, these people like this they are no more Yoruba. They no be Yoruba.
These are the kind of people you call Nigerians.
These are Nigerians.
These are the Nigerians.
They
don't see tribes.
They don't see
ethnics and whatnot.
No. So, thanks for your service to this country.
Thank you.
I wish I can. I can
Give him a hug.
no, not give him a hug. Like, I wish I can beat his records. You know, this kind of Messi, Ronaldo.
In La La Land, maybe.
Okay, so General Balogun,
Yes.
quickly. Green Heroes Foundation.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Okay. Thank you for that question, because a lot of people are not aware that when soldiers go to war, because we cater for war veterans, not all veterans. The war veterans, people who have gone to war and come back. A lot of things happen to soldiers when they go to war. And the most challenging one is the psychological effect of the war, the trauma they have passed through for the survivors, the one that will survive and come back home. Most times they are never the same. So we decided to establish the Green Heroes Foundation because all the guys that are members were also at the war front.
Okay.
Various wars, and we understood what happened. So we felt, okay, if the government is not doing what we expect them to do, we shall complement the effort of the government and try and look after these soldiers. And in other climes, when soldiers go to war and come back, they are never allowed to mix with the civilians immediately.
Why is
They
that?
must be catered for. They must be psychologically counseled to determine whether they have any of these psychological illnesses before they are allowed to mix with the civilians. But here, yeah, we do. The army does something, but for me, they are not thorough. So we decided to establish this NGO, at least the one we can afford. We look after them. We have psychologists among us. We have nurses. We have doctors. So we try to give them what we feel they need before integrating into the society. So that was the thought behind the NGO, Green Heroes Foundation.
Okay, so now, when you say you cater for them, what does that mean? It's like, I'm a layman
Yeah,
when
go
it
ahead.
comes to military terminologies and
Yeah.
all. When you say you cater for them, what the picture I have in my head is you give them food, give them house, give them clothes.
Probably provide them
give
with medicines.
money,
You set them up. Future purposes.
Yeah, our team actually is to provide care and support for war veterans and their families in times of need. War veterans and their families in times of need. Why? Because when the soldier goes to war and come back, even when he's at war, he's not the only one that is at war. The wives are at war, the children are at war, because the breadwinner is not there. He is not there to stand as the father for the children. So the woman that is left at home, has to take on the burden of looking after the children until the man gets back. And if the man does not come back, it still becomes the woman's responsibility to look after the home. So we felt we won't look after the soldiers alone, both the wives, if the husband is alive, the widow, if the husband is not alive, and the children. So that's all we'll be doing. We have a temporary hostel in Zone 3, where we take care of such people who are in need. And later we had to establish a warehouse in Mami Market in Abacha Barracks, Mogadishu Cantonment, where we started. People supported us and we stocked the warehouse for those guys that are in need to go to the warehouse and ask for their needs on monthly basis. Unfortunately, we couldn't sustain it. It lasted for like 18 months and it shut down. Though the warehouse is still there, we are hoping one day we will be able to resuscitate it.
Wow. So from this now, what it means is this: you're not getting support from anywhere.
Yes, occasionally we get support. Like when we established the warehouse, the then wife of the then chief of air staff unveiled the warehouse and supported, and some other people supported. But all that were one-time support.
One time. Is it a case of you did not go back?
We tried, we advocacy, we talk to people, but see, what we are talking about is not a lot of people that are aware of what soldiers pass through and what becomes of them after serving the nation. So they really don't understand that. They don't see the reason why they have to contribute to such a cause. So we are keeping hope alive, and we are hoping that with more advocacy, Nigerians will understand. Because especially there's an illness that soldiers who go to war pass through, which is called post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder is something that occurs to soldiers after they have passed through a lot of traumas. Now, coming back to the society, what happened to them? They relive those trauma and then the experiences they have. And what happened? They become bullies, and that's why you see soldiers bullying civilians on the road. You people will not understand. It's not their fault. Sometimes you need to look at them and say, I pity you, sorry, thank you for your service, rather than abusing them, because they are not doing those things just by themselves. They have psychological challenges, which we must understand.
Wow.
Okay, so talking about these psychological challenges and the experiences that the soldiers often face, and it making them behave in a very in a not so rational form. What exactly would you say that are the unforeseen and unseen, because these are behind the scenes to us civilians? We don't see, like you said, we don't see what happens, what they have to go through, the struggles they have to battle for the sake of the country, in quotes, because they are going to fight the war that we laymen cannot fight. If you give me a gun, I only look at it, oh, it's so beautiful, it's fine, this is looking, and then drop it. So what would you say are these battles that they fight that we do not see on the home front and also the war, the front lines as well?
Oh, okay. When soldiers go to war, there are two categories of injuries that they suffer from. They suffer from the physical injuries where all of us can see. One arm, one leg, things like that.
On a wheelchair.
But there are other silent injuries of war that you can see. Even some of them we not know, except specialists examine them and find out their state of mind, psychological. So those silent injuries of war are more dangerous than the physical to the society. Take, for example, I did an interview on Arise 2 days ago, and we were talking about the Kaduna bombings. And I said, while my heart goes out to the people of that village, I will also want to commiserate with the armed forces, particularly the guys behind the machine, and the guy that pulled the trigger, because I've had such an experience before by myself.
Can you tell us about it?
Yes, it happened in 97. I was given a legitimate target. The night these guys, they were to cross a lagoon on a boat. They were going to Freetown to attack Freetown.
And sorry, but Freetown?
Freetown in Sierra Leone.
Yes.
Oh, Sierra Leone. Okay,
Freetown.
sorry, because we we have a place called Freetown where we do a lot of free things.
Freetown in Sierra Leone. We were enforcing peace in Freetown in Sierra Leone then. And I was tasked, deny these rebels the opportunity to cross over into Freetown. Yes, it's an assignment. So I took off, got there. The targets were there as intelligence has pointed out. And I did what I was directed to do. But coming back home to where we live in the barracks, in the night, I started recalling what happened. And while I was recalling, I look at the scene, because when you attack a place, you must go back to assess the battle damage to see what you have done. And when I went back to do that, what I saw at that point did not matter to me, because
You carried out your assignments.
I was happy. I succeeded. It was a successful mission. But when I go to home in the night and I play back in my mind what I saw during the assessment, I said, I became emotional. Why did I do it? And that's where soldiers pass through what we call
PTSD.
Moral injury or crisis of conscience. Your conscience is telling you you should not kill. But whoever have sent you, Nigerians sent us, go and kill. Because you don't tell us to go and fight bandits and say you should romance them and bring them home. No. So when you go to war, you either kill or get killed. It's the basic. And that's why he was saying before that, is there any job you go to, you are not certain of coming back? Yes. The job that the armed forces do. Now, coming back to the Kaduna bombing, that guy that pulled that trigger and is becoming the whole lot, he obeyed an instruction. He obeyed an instruction, but he will suffer the consequence psychologically alone. I'm wondering if people now see him and say, oh, you are the one that killed the Kaduna people. How will he feel? He could commit suicide. Because some soldiers do that. And they can't bear it any longer. Those are part of the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder.
But General,
Yes.
let me take you off all these things we were talking about. There is this aspect of your book that I read where you say, and it's quite eye-opening, Sheon. According to the book, it says, war is what comes when politicians cannot agree.
That's deep.
You said something like
Yes,
that.
all over the world.
Yeah, it's in this book. In case you don't know, you'll find that, me and sayings now.
Let's not even start.
me and Proverbs. It said, war comes when politicians cannot agree. So war is politics taken to the extreme. You understand?
Okay.
So when we try to negotiate and we can't agree,
I mean, take out your opponent.
oh yeah, let's go. So that brings me to the question, General.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is me thinking like my 10-year-old son. Must we
Really?
fight war?
Will it?
Yeah. Must human beings fight war?
Must there be war?
As you said, war is politics by other means. Yes, when the talks
Break
on
it
the
down.
table fails, you box. Yes, but then we must all learn that wars they don't end on the battlefield. They will still have to end on the table. Every war, you must still come back and agree and disagree, reach an agreement and solve it. So what I will say, being a war veteran, is that politicians should try as much as they can to resolve conflicts on the table before going to war. War is messy, and when you start it, you don't know how it will end. Yes.
I was checking the war. I think it's firepower. It's firepower matrix,
Okay.
and it ranks Nigeria as number 4. Our military ranks Nigeria military as number 4 in Africa.
Yeah.
As of 2023, and it ranks Nigeria as number 35 in the world. Now, to those who we use a lot of action movies to judge Nigerian military.
Yeah.
So to some of us that use Nigerian action film, Rambo, to judge Nigerian military, would you say Nigerian military has improved in its general operations? And when I say general operations, I'm talking tactically, I'm talking weaponry, and I'm talking post-service operations. And post-service is part of what you do. I would regard the Green Heroes Foundation as a post-service institution. When you put all these variables together, how well would you rate Nigerian military?
For now, at least I can compare when I was in the service and what we have now.
Okay.
The Nigerian Armed Forces have advanced so much than what we have now. Like that drone attack, what was drone to us when we were fighting war?
So there was no drone.
That was not drone. There were no intelligence aircraft. We have to see with our eyes. But today, the Nigerian forces have drones that can go to anywhere, see what is happening, report back, record it. We didn't have that. Even the platforms that we have to operate, today there are so many. In fact, compared to when we fought in Liberia and Sierra Leone from 1990 to 2009.
What? Wait.
1990.
To 2000.
No,
That's
no,
10
no.
straight.
1990.
1990 to 2000 and.
No, to 1999.
That's 9
That's
years.
9 years.
10 years.
10 years.
10 years before we finally pull out of both Liberia and Sierra Leone. We first went into Liberia to stop the genocide that was going there. And it was a peacekeeping mission. But when we got there, there was no peace to keep. So we had to enforce peace. The same thing happened in Sierra Leone in 1997. That day, after the coup, there was violence, there was everything going on. We had to go there to enforce peace. And this is what I would like to say, that people don't know. When we deployed to Liberia in 1990, yes, we were peacekeepers, but we had to become peace enforcers. At that time, the UN had not given us the permission to enforce peace. So, but people were dying. The foreign nationals, the Americans, the British people were coming to Liberia and evacuating their citizens. But we chose, Nigeria and the ECOWAS said, no. Rather than evacuating our citizens, let's make the place safe for everybody. So we had to enforce peace, starting in September 1990. We were the first in the world to do that. The next set of people that enforced peace in the world was America and the coalition in Iraq and Kuwait in 1991.
Which I think you flew.
I didn't fly there, but I was part of that. I was Chief Air Operation Officer. When I left ECOMOG briefly, I went there, then came back to ECOMOG. Now, they enforced peace, according to them, in Iraq, Kuwait. That was first peace enforcement, which the UN gave them permission to, under the UN Charter 7, peace enforcement. But when we enforced peace in Liberia first, we were not given the permission, and nobody has captured it, that Nigeria was the first, Nigerian-led ECOMOG were the first to enforce peace.
In the world?
Yes. You Google it, you will not see Nigeria, but if you Google it, you will see America and the coalition forces in 1991. And that's the story that we don't tell. And that's why I'm not very happy with the media. They tell ugly stories about Nigeria, but there are positive stories. We have contributed to UN peacekeeping all over the world. In fact, when you talk of countries contributing to the UN, until we started having the internal crisis, we were among the top 3. Yes. So Nigerian forces have grown. What we have today is times 20 of what we used to have, both in manpower and equipment. So
Are we still, is Nigerian military still very, very active in the world scene, just like the way you describe? Yes, we know we don't say good things about ourselves. It's our problem. Every day we are always insulting ourselves.
Negative stories.
Negative stories about ourselves. But let's not look at what we say about ourselves. Let's look at what is on ground. Is the Nigerian military still very active in the world scene?
Right now, we can't be very active in the world because we have internal challenges. Until we are able to solve our crisis internally, then we have excess resources to concentrate outside. So it's not as much as we used to do as per contributing troops to UN. But here, because here we must take care of our people first. We must make sure we are safe. So until then, I think Nigeria will reduce our participation in such UN operations until we have peace.
Okay, so let's talk about our own internal problem now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you think we got it wrong as a people? And when I say as a people, I'm talking as Nigeria, our police, our military. Did we get it wrong from the point of not investing in our military assets, or we got it wrong in not taking care of our military personnel, or both?
I think something happened along the line. We have always considered that securing the nation is the job of the military and the police. You said something in the beginning, that security belongs to all of us. Now, we are still looking at security in that manner, that the security people are the army, police, air force, we finished there. So for me, I think we need to have a different approach, an all-inclusive approach where everybody is involved. Now, there's that slogan that says, when you see something, say something. I challenge them. I say, when they see something, how do they say that something? To who do they say it to? You must have the people at the grassroots. You must cultivate them to be able to reach you with what is happening. On that interview that day, I said, the guy made the first error. In fact, it shouldn't have happened. It's avoidable. As a former pilot, it's avoidable. Because there should have been people on the ground. But we are walking from top to bottom. If we were walking from bottom
to top,
you have people in that community that will be telling you what is happening there. Don't come here. This gathering is for religion. The bandits are not coming, or they have passed. And even if the bandits were inside the people,
you have to abort.
Professionally, you should not. I have seen that, I've been in that situation before. There will always be a second time. Once there is doubt that civilians could be involved, please go home.
Just like in broadcast, they say when you're in doubt, leave it out.
Don't pass the information if you have no facts.
So if you are not sure of an information, don't leave it, don't give it out, because just like the devastation that the drone bomb caused, a wrong information can cause almost twice that kind of devastation.
Definitely.
It can.
Definitely.
But so now, as it is, we are rounding up right now.
Yeah.
We are rounding up this session now. We would like you to, for anybody, and I want you to be very vivid, very raw about this. No, don't hide anything. For sometime before now, I was in school. Sometimes we have riots, we have protests, which is within our constitutional right as citizens. If we see something we don't like, we can come out and protest. But a protest is different from war.
Definitely.
Now, I heard, and I heard, and I pray it's a lie, that some people went to defense ministry to go and say, please, army should take over, and all this kind of skirmish. And sometimes some people kind of dish out money to youths, and this particular advice is for the youths that are thinking, okay, let me join a movement that is pro-war instead of pro-peace. Now, for somebody that have been on the battlefield, I'll continue my question, but before that, one of my guys behind the scenes, when I said he's a war veteran, he's a general, he said, the man go don't buy people.
I'm sorry to cut you short. I think, but before we move to the advice you'd give to the young ones who, would want to be a part of the military.
Not be part of a military. Anybody that is saying, okay, let's go and even scatter the Nigeria self. Let's fight war.
Before we even get there, at least before you can say, oh, I advise you to do this. Is it possible for you to share with us your own regrets, if you have any?
Regrets?
Yes.
Of being a soldier.
Yes. Of all the experiences you've gathered.
That's that if a soldier has to go back
in time,
especially soldiers who had experienced war, it's not every soldier you see that has gone to war. But the ones that have gone to war and come back, they will tell you it's not a sweet experience. It's very bitter. Because you come back and feel you shouldn't have done a lot of things you have done. Because that's what you have been tasked to do. That's what you are paid to do. Because war, on both sides, Either you start it or the other guy starts it. Once it gets to that point that you are exchanging, you don't know how it will end. War does not end well. It does not end well for any party. Looking at current situation in the world, Hamas and
Israel, Ukraine.
It is even the civilians that are suffering more than the armed forces. But it is the civilians most times that we engineer the armed forces and say, we can do it, let's go and fight them. Yes. Because you guys are in control of the military.
On the streets, they say they zuga them.
So I will advise that based on what we pass through, obeying the command of the nation, we should not try to take our grievances to that level of fighting. We should try and resolve whatever it is on the table. Alternative dispute resolution, those actions are there, and you will end up in a win-win situation, and you won't have to go to war. That would be my advice, because war is not sweet for anybody.
Okay, so like I was saying, my question now, your advice for anybody that is looking at make we scatter the country self. What this country is, let's fight war. No be war. So
It's not
being
just war.
somebody that have been on the battlefield, and I remember when I came to your office, you showed me a picture, and there was a story behind that picture.
Yes.
So I want you to maybe that story, maybe another one, to use it to advise, especially young people.
That story is good enough, only that we don't have the picture here.
No, I'm going to get the picture. Don't worry, I'm going to get a screenshot
That
of it.
story was a picture. It's the story behind the picture. The picture had about 6 pilots who were approaching their aircraft to go and load. But the scene around that place, the picture was taken in Liberia, specifically at Robert International Airport. And if you look at the scene, behind the pilots was a structure. That structure is demolished. And that structure used to be Liberia International Airport. Now, that airport was attacked by those same pilots who now snapped that picture in 97. That picture was 97. But that attack was in 91. In 91, those same pilots came from Sierra Leone while the war in Liberia was ongoing and attacked the airport because Chaselo and his rebels were occupying the place. The war in Liberia ended, and then the war in Sierra Leone started. So while the war in Sierra Leone was ongoing, the same pilot now need to go and fight in Sierra Leone, but they can't stay in Sierra Leone. So they were located in Liberia to be taken off to go and fight in Sierra Leone. And where did the authority keep these people? That same airport that they attacked in 1991 became now their residence. And what happened to the community around? When we first landed for like 2 weeks, the community they were not ready to accept us. They were not ready to say anything to us because they consider us as enemies. We were their enemies according to them in 91.
Wow.
Now we are coming to live within them in 97. How do they get over it? Yes, finally they got over it, and they accepted us because we are no longer fighting in their country. We are fighting in the other country. So things like that are what we should look back, because
and saying we should look back,
Yes.
I don't know if you're comfortable talking about the Biafran War.
Biafran War. The wounds of Biafran War is not totally healed. Yeah, underground. And it is still why IPOB is going around unknown government. It's still the same story. So on the surface, it's over. But we must still continue the healing process that we get everybody back and say, no that was no victor,
No victor, no vanquish.
So there's no need to do what we are doing, because if it really starts, everybody will suffer it.
So now,
Yeah.
as a war veteran,
Yeah.
what do you think the approach should be in trying to so the healing process
Yes.
then is different from what the healing process
Right now.
will be right now, because things have evolved, times have changed.
Yes.
What are those things that you think should be brought on board now to continue and deepen the healing process of the Biafran war? And if you have any experiences.
Yes, I had one experience, and I think it's good to share because we didn't achieve it. The healing process is not just the military, it's the whole nation. It must start there. We chose one approach last year. We had the Green Heroes Foundation and the Nigerian Legion. We had an award ceremony. And our plan was that the people that fought the war, the civil war, both on the Nigerian side and the Biafran side, we bring them together. And they were supposed to be like 2020.
Okay.
And they were to come on stage for Nigerians to see. And we'll tell them that last year was 55 years the Civil War started. And I say 55 years ago, these two brothers were killing themselves.
We're against each other.
They were enemies. But today, the two brothers are facing each other as brothers now.
Shaking hands and hugging.
And now we tell them to shake their hands, hug themselves, go around the hall. And we still did the award, but this aspect we were not able to achieve.
Why?
Because the Nigerian side were there. But once we called for the Biafran side, we didn't get, we just had about 2 or 3 General Biako. General Biako was in the Biafran war. He was fighting on the side of Biafra. But what happened as part of the reconciliation, after the war, he came to Nigeria and joined the army in Nigeria and rose to become a lieutenant general. So we gave him a special honor for that. Air Vice Marshal Ekeze was also on the Biafran side. They fought the Biafran war and they came back to Nigeria and
Became
Air Vice Marshal. In fact, Oga Ekeze was a presidential pilot.
Wow.
So those are the little things we can do to continuously heal the process. There were Nigerian trained officers who during the war had to go and fight in Biafra. But they came back and they continued their life. So it's not left to the military alone. Whatever opportunity the nation as a whole has, we must continue to heal the nation. It's still healing. We have not completely, if we had completely forgotten the Biafra, there would be no IPO. Yes, there will be no unknown government. So we still need to do more.
Okay, so
All right, thank you.
let's kind of wrap it up at this point. Now, in wrapping it up, General, I would like to know what is that most gory story as a retired armed force person? What is that gory story?
A story you can never forget.
You can never forget. Remember, you told me one about your friend.
Apparently, he's told you a lot of stories.
No, if you are talking about the friend that was a friend, became an opponent, an
yes,
enemy,
yes, that's
and
it.
later became a friend.
Yes.
That's not gory. That is happy ending. But if I want to tell you about a gory story, which I said haunted me in the night, let me make it. There was a river, and the rebels were to cross. And they said, go there, make sure these rebels don't cross this river. And I took off as instructed. Go there. You must first identify the target. You must first see what you are going to attack. You don't attack blindly. And I saw these guys, they were over 200.
Wow.
And when I saw they were there, pull up and reposition for the real attack. And I came in, carrying 2 beluga bombs, and I dropped the bombs.
Sorry. 2 what?
They are called beluga bombs.
Beluga bombs.
Wow. Okay.
So, when I drop the bombs, normally you pull up because the bomb was dropped at low level. So pull up for battle damage assessment to see what you have done, whether you have succeeded or you failed. If you fail, you know that you have to come back. If you have succeeded, you are happy, you go back. Now, when I pulled up and look at that place at the riverbank where those guys were, the only thing that was moving were 2 parachutes. Because that weapon, I dropped the 2 of them. The weapons always carry, each of them carry parachutes. Those parachutes are to slow down the weapon so that the aircraft will pass before explosion. So those were the only 2 things that were just flying, waving.
Everything was wiped out.
I know what I saw before I dropped those weapons. And what am I seeing now? See, from that book, there's a movie that is coming out of it.
Okay.
Yes, because
When is this coming out?
this particular scene is going to be in the movie because at that point the pilot became emotional because he couldn't bear that I have done this. Now, people are standing, they are there waiting to cross, and they are no longer there because of you pull the trigger. So those are the kind of things that haunt soldiers forever. They don't ever forget it. They can suppress it, and it's not only me. So many soldiers are walking around with such things
As a burden on their shoulder.
Yeah, burden they carry forever. They carry.
On our behalf.
Yes. If you read that book very well, you will see when I wrote about the effects of war on soldiers, their family, and eventually the society, if we are not careful. The film what was that film? First Blood. Rambo.
That's Rambo, yes.
Rambo.
First Blood.
Typical replica of what could happen in any society that have war veterans. Rambo was in the Vietnam before the Vietnam War. He came back, he became depressed, isolated himself.
In the bush? In the
bush.
Forests, actually.
In the forest. Then one day he decided, let me come to town and come and see fine chick like this.
Really? Stop it.
He got arrested by the police. They say he's unkept, bushy hair, everything, and took him to the police station. What are you doing in this our environment? And at the point they shave his head. As they shave his head, he snapped back to his wartime and destroy everybody.
And because I saw that movie,
Yeah.
I always remember that saying. So his commander went to the, what's he called? Maybe like the policeman, and was telling the policeman that this man that you people have arrested, release him. He is a war veteran. You people cannot handle. He said only one man. I have over 200. I have over 200 people. Then the commander now looked at him. That's Rambo's commander looked at the policeman and said, as you are going to catch him, please be sure to go along with a lot of body bags. I always remember that part.
That's true. So
Body go surplus. That's it. Sorry, before we bring this to a close, we talked about PTSD, and that is, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's one thing that our military veterans who go to war actually experience.
Yeah.
If you were to give just one or two insights to how, for every injury you have, there's always a first aid treatment before you get the major treatment. So if you were to give the first aid treatment to PTSD, at least before they get to a final point of getting the proper treatment, what exactly would it be?
The first aid treatment is counseling.
Okay.
It's counseling. You must retool their mind. You must retool their psyche that they are no longer at war. They are back home. If not, they will be having that flashback to the war front. Whatever was happening in the war front, they want to replicate it. So psychological counseling is the first thing.
Okay.
Say, take your mind off. Yeah, there are psychologists. We have some who will try and bring them home and tell them, no more war. Now you are at home, you are at peace. So we must first do that. It is during that period of counseling that the psychologist will now determine the level of psychological trauma that soldier has and know what kind of treatment to prescribe. In fact, for some of them, they will be on medication for the rest of their life.
Wow.
Yes.
Anyway,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Wow, this has been an eye-opener. I have one very last funny question that I'm going to ask you, but before I ask that question, please, Jenna, where can people get this book from? Is it on Amazon?
It's on Amazon and
okay.
It's available in Abuja here.
It's available in Abuja. Yes. So we're going to drop a link to the Amazon website where you can get the online version of it. And the hard copy, where can they get the hard copy?
It's available in Zone 3.
In Zone 3, okay. So I'm going to...
Where the greenhouse is.
Yes. So the headquarters of Green Heroes Foundation. We're going to drop the address, on the screen. Mm-hmm. So you can go there, get the hard copy. And we're going to drop the link to where you can get the Amazon, the soft copy online. And please, Sheon, let's use this opportunity to please speak to the people that are in charge of post-war veterans. This man is doing a yeoman's job, and personally, I have met some of the war veterans in his care, and they are doing very, very well. They are mixing up with the society very, very well, thanks to him and his foundation. So please, small things like this, make sure they support them now. Let's support the people that are supporting us. You get? Yeah. So so it's easy for us to talk about Whiskey, talk about Davido, talk about Seaman, talk about Sisa Toshola, talk about all these guys, but talk about Sheon.
Wow, really, seriously. I think that the reason why most times we feel like you said at the beginning, and he also reiterated, the reason why we don't really want to talk about military men is because we believe that they are the ones who are meant to protect us. That's their job, and not the job of everybody.
Why won't you talk to? So because you are protecting me means I can't talk to you. But again, seriously.
He said something about how some military men, after post-war, they, because of their traumas and everything, they become rational in behavior and even beat up the civilians. So they've made us civilians feel like they should be feared and not even cared for. Do you really get what I'm saying?
So they were not born like that.
True.
And they were part of this society before they became soldiers. Were they like that when they were civilian? So we need to find out why. Why did they suddenly go to the army and come back and become bullies? They were not bullies when they were going. So it is the effect of what you have ordered them to do. They will obey you because they are serving the nation. So that is their own gain for serving.
That's their gain for serving.
Yes. And
it's also a burden for serving.
It's the pain that becomes their gain, but we don't know.
Yeah. So, Sheon, it takes me to the proverb. Person we marry woman with hunchback. Now they take run am for night.
And that brings us to the end of this
episode
of Middle Ground podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Commodore
Commodore Abayomi.
Thank you very much. But my own is this. This is why me I fear soldiers, and it's because they don't let people wear khaki. I have seen where a soldier beating somebody that is putting on camouflage. Because of that, in my life, I would never try it again.
I told you about the camouflage. It's the only reason if you go to America, you can wear your camouflage. Why? Because the civilian that will buy camouflage will not use it to go and rob.
Sure.
The Nigerian civilians will take camouflage and enter the street and claim to be soldiers.
Sure.
So they abuse the privilege. And if you are not careful, if you allow it, you have a battalion of people claiming to be soldiers.
True. Very true.
People like Ekemini. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know this was going to be this big. Very nice. I'm not fully prepared, but I will reach out to him and he will get to you. In fact, I will invite you people.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, sir. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And that's it, Rob. And thank you very much for watching this episode of Middle Ground Podcast. If you really love to assist, which you should, look down below and you'll find the details of the Green Heroes Foundation. And, it is a means for you and for us all to support our war veterans.
Yeah.
They've done a lot for Nigeria, trust me.
And you and me.
Yes. We are Nigerians.
Go walk. Say you go come again.
And then, with everything that they have to deal with, all the experiences, yes, we know they're taking orders from above, but at the end of the day, they're taking these orders to protect you, myself, and the likes of ourselves.
Yeah.
But then, do make sure you support.
Yeah, so please support them. Reach out to them. They will tell you the different ways in which you can support their cause.
And also, if you are unable to reach out to them, you can leave a comment in the comment section. We'll make sure to get back to it.
Yeah, and please, while you're at it, do not forget to subscribe.
Like.
You've not subscribed.
Share. Just like and share. It's not hard. It's not hard.
Out.
Enjoy. Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very
Please
much.
don't stress.
Thank you.
Tunde has been calling me.
Okay.